Hello, welcome back. This is Seewing, and today I'm going to go over the Redfin report. Today is the 3rd July 2023. And let me share my screen before I go any further. My desire is for you to smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I continue to put on great contents, very relevant weekly housing updates for people out there, as well as for real estate investors to get to know my channel as well. So you could look into real estate investing. All right. Without further ado, here it is, a housing market update for Redfin. The headline is typical U.S. home selling for just $4,000 less than last year's all-time high. This means the slight down correction of home prices decreases in the second half of last year as a result of the skyrocketing interest rate from a historic low has subsided. And that I believe that the bottom of the market has just occurred at the beginning of this year, 2023. And we have seen double-digit median sales price increases nationwide. I know I hate to say the word nationwide. There's no such thing as a national real estate market. Real estate is very hyper local. Every market is extremely different. And I will continue to bring home this message, even though I'm giving you the big picture, so-called national housing market data and trends. All right. Just keep that in perspective. All right. So again, the home price declines have subsided based on this past, and the typical U.S. home is selling on the average roughly $383,000, only $4,000 less from last June's all-time record high real estate prices. Now, this is something that is up to here. These so-called short 6 months real estate downturn correction, in my estimation, is very short, quickly rebounded and recovered. I believe no one knows for sure that this is the bottom of the market in my mind. Let me switch over to Mortgage News Daily, 3rd July 2023. The Mortgage News Daily shows interest rate of 7.03%. Pretty elevated. It's quite disappointing to see that, but yeah, we have seen a slight mortgage rate increase this past week. And year over year, prior year, June of 2022, the mortgage rate were 5.5%. So therefore, there's a year over year change of 1.53% basis point increase from this year. So last year, this time, 5.5% means the mortgage rate last year over year, June, has been skyrocketing from the low fours at the beginning of 2022. That's why during the last 2 quarters of 2023, we have seen skyrocketing rate that caused tremendous downsizing in demand of last year. So now we go to a very quick recovery. Last year in October, as you can see, October, November, the mortgage rate were 7.16%. So once we reach this year, September, October, November of 2023, and then we can do a year-over-year comparison, we're going to see very similar mortgage rates year over year, which is quite interesting because for the past 12 months or so, we have seen year over year increases in mortgage rate. Now the mortgage rates are going to be very comparable, so year over year. So this tells me that we are rebalancing, we are correcting very nicely. We are, I think the any kind of bad scenarios is pretty much behind us, if you will. So also I want to share one article by Miss Diane Olick from CNBC. She appeared on the YouTube video on a daily basis for the past 2 years. And article she wrote, Diane Olick, by the way, her headline was how something is already tough. Guess what? It's about to get harder. Her article pretty much shared the same sentiment as Redfin this week, and some of her highlights in her article says new listings in the last week of June were down 29% from the same week of a year ago. So new listings nationwide down 1/3. So we have fewer listings. And then she goes on to say an even tighter housing market ahead means that the home prices are unlikely to cool. Prices peaked last June of 2022 after rising over 45% from pre-pandemic levels. This means that people that purchased homes before the pandemic around 2020 or at the onset of the pandemic and in 2021, housing prices skyrocketed as a result of the 3% mortgage interest rate and 1 month's supply of the inventory. That's what's happened in 2023. So lots of people make tremendous amount of equity and wealth doing a very short time span in 2021 and few months before that and few months after that. And then the housing prices took a slight detour, like I said, for the last 2 quarters of 2022, but all the decreases of the housing prices late last year was more than made up for this year, 6 months this year to date. And I will give you some of those data momentarily. So it seems like prices bottom in January 2023. So I'm predicting this is bottom of the market has just occurred a few months ago. And the trajectory is such that everything is going steadily up and prices are not likely to go down because we continue to see pending sales nationwide, existing homes, and new listings all has been decreasing, trending for the past 1 year, and it's creating amazing lack of housing inventory, as you stated right here, and it's preventing housing demand from being fully realized. That's said Lawrence Young, National Association of Realtors Chief Economist Lawrence Young. That's what he said. So despite sluggish pending contract signing, he said, the housing market is resilient with approximately 3 offers per listing. And that's just the average. Some market, there are like 5 to 10 offers per house. And some of the offers are 5 to 10 percent final asking price from the initial asking price. And then the highlighted paragraph right here, as I conclude this with the article, while single family home starts are finally increasing, they are still well below historic levels. Builders have also been underbuilding since the Great Recession, since 2010. We're talking the past, 2010? For the past 13 years, the construction of new homes has been lagging. They are not constructing new homes to meet the demand of the demographics. So the housing market was undersupplied before the recent pandemic induced run on housing. So if people think there was a shortage of new homes in the past few years as a result of the pandemic, no. The underbuilding, the lack of new homes has been persistent for the past 13 years. And now we are at a very boiling point of scenario right now, because even at the mortgage rate of 7%, pent-up demand is still high relative to the extremely very low supply of inventory. Okay, so let me go ahead and exit. Let me get back to the housing scenario. Let's go over the Redfin weekly housing market data, the big picture, the median sales price. Now, many of the crash bros, many of the crash porn YouTube videos for the past 9 months or so, they are calling for a crash 40, 50, 60%, and whatever, especially during the rising mortgage rate of late last year. They're getting a lot of clickbait, they're getting a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, but they are inaccurate in their assessment. That's the way it is. And I knew it. We're only experiencing a mild recession last year with an interest rate were at 3, 4, 5% in early part of last year. Then the Federal Reserve that drastically accelerated the interest rate all the way up to 6, 7% toward the to, to the towards the fall of last year. That caused demand to decrease drastically, and then holding some home prices, especially in the western region of the U.S., has decreased at this level. The peak was at 387,000 June 19th last year, 387. It has all the way down 350,000, down around 13% nationally speaking. Although the Midwest and South and Southeast, even throughout last year, we have most of those markets have seen stabilization or even slight increases in housing prices. Only the Western region, the typical California, Boise, Idaho, Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, and Austin has experienced the last 6 months decrease of homes around 7 to 10% to 13%. But then again, as you can see, the beginning of this year, the median price was $349, and then fell a little bit February this year. And from February until now, we have seen skyrocketing of home prices increases all across the board nationwide, to a point where this article mentioned that around June 25th, just last week, new median price was $383, only $5,000 below peak housing prices back in June 2022. The all-time high median home prices in history was $386 last year, June 26, 2022. Now we already caught up almost peak of the historic rising home prices. And June 25th, 2023, a week ago, we have seen a new median sales price of $383. Now you see the skyrocketing of home prices as a result of the pent-up demand. But we're talking, mortgage rate in the past 6 months or anywhere from low sixes to 7%. So, however, what we're seeing is all the buyers out there is a new normal. People are finally accepting the new normal of mortgage rate between 6 and 7%, and they're not going to wait around any longer. For those people that qualify, they are pulling the trigger. They are staying off the sidelines. They are buying, even if the interest rate are right now around 7%. Because last year, that sudden increases of interest rates shocked most people. They were caught off guard. So they were emotionally distracted by rising mortgage rate from early part of 2022, about 3, 4, 5%. All of a sudden shot up to around 7%, the bumper of last year, that caused a tremendous amount of demand decreases. As a result, a slight correction occurred in the second half of last year. Now, all that alleged value that was lost, at least temporarily, was more than made up in a mere 6 months. Half of the year of 2023, all the slight decreases in correction of home prices late last year was made up. Now, the key question is, what's going to happen for the rest of this year? We obviously not going to expect the home prices this year to continue to increase at this trajectory. If that would be the case, the median home prices will increase to 20 or 30% year over year. That's unsustainable. There's no way this line going to go this way, right? So I predict this median price increases that we have seen double digit already increases this year. Come back, stabilize, the trend, the line was like this. June, July, August, September, especially when the interest rate are between the mid sixes and the low and what have you, around 6 to 7% the rest of this year, based on this projection, that the median sales price will be like a little bit lower because when we entering the fall, that is a seasonality thing. There will be less transactions that people are done. The so-called spring buying season is pretty much over, and then the median sales prices will be down like this, kind of a not all the way down this way, but it'll be like this. You know what I mean? It'll be like this, slightly off, slightly down from rest of this year. Not real vertical, but almost, you see my arrow like this. For example, again, I don't have a crystal ball. Right now, the median price of an average home is 383. We might see the median price of a home stay around 383, maybe at 380 because of seasonality for the fall of each year. October, November, December, we got a lot less transaction and the holidays all around. Does that make sense? I think I have a very good, clear explanation, but I believe so. Now, a few more things that will be, the trends are still continuing to be very challenging for the remainder this year because of the numerical trading we have seen. As you can see right here, 2023, the new listings are 26.5% fewer new listings year to date in 2023 than there were on 2022 and 2021. 2021 in June of those 2 years, there were around 117,000 new listings. This year is only 89,000. So new listings are not doing well. So impact will cause the supply of inventory to be challenging for the rest of this year and beyond. Now, this is the new listing. Let's talk about active listings. So this is also very important. So active listings are really trending slightly down. Year to date, active listings typically is 750,000 active listings. However, last year, in 2021, active listings were 804,000. And in 2022, last year, active listings were 843,000. So we have seen around almost 11% less active listings year to date than either of the previous prior 2 years. So this is not a good trend either. And let me see what else that are important to show. Month of supply inventory. This is economics 101. When demand exceeds supply, housing prices will increase. And that's what we are seeing. So in 2023, this blue line right here, there are 10.6 weeks supply of inventory. So you divide 4 weeks into 10.6 weeks. So we basically have 2.6 months supply of inventory. A healthy market, a balance between supply and demand is around 5 to 6 months. We are only 2.6% based on the data of active listings and new listings. We're seeing trending downward. So unless other factors will come into play, such as much lower mortgage rate, if we can see that, until we see that, I believe the month of inventory, which is right now 2.6, will probably going to be lower. We're probably going to reach around 2 months of inventory sometime for the rest of this year because we have locked in effect. Because I believe 60% of the homeowners that have mortgages that have a 4% mortgage rate, and around 20 or 5% of the mortgage owners out there that have a mortgage rate of 3%. These people are locked in. There's no way they're going to move up. There's no way they can get rid of their 3 to 4% historically low mortgages to buy a new home and paying 7% mortgage essentially doubling their payment. The only way some of the mortgage holders are willing to sell their homes, if the mortgage rate decrease below 6%, then we may have more supply of inventory to come into the market. And even then, not everybody who's holding their current mortgage of 5%, they're ready to sell because they are settling in. People that have a 5, 4%, and 3% mortgage, they're settling into their community. Okay. Their quality of lifestyle, they are, uh, they are getting involved in the community. They feel comfortable. They can live at their home for a long time to come. So only a small percentage of those locked in no rate buyers, they may move up if the mortgage rate will go below 6%. If the mortgage rate will continue to be in a 6 to 7 mortgage rate environment for the rest of this year, we can continue to see an extremely historically low supply of inventory, and demand will still be persistent. And we continue to see some slight increases of home prices depending on what local areas. So that's the picture. We're still at a very seller's market, and we're still seeing a little bit of bidding wars and multiple offers. There'll be always several offers per house, especially those houses are priced correctly. They are turnkey. They've been fixed up, and they're priced correctly. They get sold within a week or less. That's how robust the housing market is. That's pretty much what we have to report based on my Redfin article. Hopefully you'll receive a lot of value from this presentation. If you have, please smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need more YouTube subscribers than I'm getting because I just report very authentic and very transparent contents. I don't do clickbait or negative headlines just to entice people to get subscription and all that stuff, to get views. All right. So that's all I have to say. One more thing, of course, please put down your email into my website below so you can become a free member of our real estate investment club. Once you become a free member, on your email inbox, you will receive weekly newsletters about real estate investing, free education about all aspects of real estate investing. And also, regardless of where you live in the country, we help people to buy out-of-state, remote, turnkey, professionally managed cash flow properties in most fastest growing part of the U.S., especially Midwest and the South and Southeast, Florida and Texas, especially turnkey approach. Very easy to buy properties as long as you go through the process and take action. All right. Thank you so much for attending. This is Seewing. Thanks for attending, and I will see you on the next video very shortly. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.